Go look at your garage door. The dimensions haven't changed in 30 years. Now look at the modern vehicle parked outside, the one that barely fits, the one that turns a simple parking job into a 3-act drama of cameras and sensors. The car grew, your life didn't. Your neighborhood didn't. The world outside didn't. And that's the core of it. We're driving solutions to problems that never existed until they invented them. We were told this escalation, this move toward vehicles taller, wider, and heavier than a World War II tank was a natural evolution, but it wasn't. This wasn't demand. This was design. A system built on policy loopholes, obscene profit margins, and the quiet manipulation of your deepest insecurities. And the result? We don't drive cars anymore. We pilot fortresses, disconnected, oversized, and quietly dangerous to everything outside their armor. There was a time when a car was honest. It wasn't a statement. It wasn't a throne. It was a tool, a metal extension of your will. You felt the steering wheel fight back. You heard the engine, a real one, not an algorithm pretending to sound alive. Now you're insulated, muted, surrounded by screens, comfort modes, and synthetic soundscapes that replace sensation with simulation. The simple sedan used to be a point of equality, everyone at eye level, sharing the same road. Now, the modern SUV doesn't just lift you up, it isolates you. It turns the world into something to be observed, not experienced. They didn't sell you power. They sold you anesthesia. They sold you the idea that safety meant detachment, that the less you felt, the safer you were. You didn't stop driving because you got bored. You stopped because they designed a car that made you unnecessary. If we never asked for these giant machines, how did they take over so completely? The answer isn't in taste. It's in tax law. It started with loopholes that sound like footnotes in a policy paper. The chicken tax of 1963, the Hummer loophole, and above all, the CAFE standards, rules that reward inefficiency disguised as freedom. A vehicle over 6,000 pounds could be classified as a light truck, escaping the strict fuel and safety rules applied to cars. Manufacturers realized they could make 10 times the profit selling a pickup than a compact. $15,000 on an F-150, maybe $1,500 on a Fiesta. So they stopped offering you a choice. They didn't stop making small cars because you stopped buying them. They stopped because the government effectively paid them not to. When profit defines progress, the market doesn't reflect our needs, it manufactures them. Once the system made it profitable, they needed to make it personal. You can't sell a suburban family a 7,000-pound truck on logic. So they sold it on fear, not utility, not necessity, fear and status. They told you the world outside your window was dangerous, unpredictable, unsafe. And they told you that the only answer was to sit higher. The minivan was humility, cooperation, family. The SUV, strength, dominance, independence. They sold you power by convincing you you'd lost it. And maybe that's what really hooked us. Not the horsepower, but the promise of not feeling small. They didn't just sell you a truck. They sold you an identity, one that runs on gasoline and insecurity. The moment you bought your tank for the school run, your neighbor felt small in their sedan. So they bought one too. And now we're all trapped in an unspoken arms race. Each new model sits higher, wider, heavier, trying to see over the last one. We laugh at it, but it's not funny. Pedestrians hit by these vehicles are twice as likely to die. Cyclists disappear in their blind spots. We bought safety for ourselves at the expense of everyone else's. SUVs became the cigarettes of our generation. Dangerous, addictive, and socially contagious. We're burning more fuel, taking up more space, spending more money, all to feel a fraction of the connection we once had with a simple car that asked us to drive, not dominate. And when you think it couldn't go further, they electrified the lie. A 9,000-pound electric Hummer, a Ford Lightning that weighs more than a city bus. They told us it was the future, but it's just a heavier rerun of the same past. We're saving the air but refusing to shrink the machine. We're solving the wrong problem, cleaning the emissions while ignoring the excess. Progress stopped meaning better, it just started meaning bigger. The rest of the world built cars to fit their lives. We rebuilt our lives to fit our cars. No, this wasn't your fault. You were targeted by loopholes, lobbyists, and a marketing machine that knows exactly how to sell fear as freedom. But now you know. You feel it every time you struggled to park. You see it in your bank statement. You sense it in the silence of a drive that used to make you feel alive. They told you to dream bigger, but they never told you what that dream would cost. Because the truth is, we didn't want these things. We were sold them. So next time you see your reflection in that chrome door, ask yourself, did you grow into it, or did they build it around you? A car is supposed to be for driving, not for hiding.